In the heart of ancient European mythology lies the tale of the basilisk, a creature of such terror and mystery that its very existence strikes fear into the hearts of those who hear its name. The basilisk, often referred to as the king of serpents, is famed for its lethal gaze and potent venom, which can turn a person to stone in an instant. This story delves deep into the legend of the basilisk, exploring its origins, the lore that surrounds it, and a harrowing adventure that brings its fearsome power to light. The village and its fears. In a small medieval village nestled among the dense forests of Europe, life moved at a steady, rhythmic pace. The villagers, who were primarily farmers and craftsmen, lived in harmony with nature and followed the cycles of the seasons. Among them was Alaric, a young blacksmith's apprentice known for his curiosity and love for ancient stories. The village elder, Aemon, was a repository of such tales, often captivating the young and old alike with his stories of mythical beasts and heroic deeds. One autumn, strange events began to unfold in the village. Livestock were found turned to stone, their expressions frozen in sheer terror. The villagers were baffled and frightened as the phenomenon defied any natural explanation. Whispers of a curse or a malevolent spirit spread like wildfire, and fear took root in the hearts of the people. Aemon, however, suspected a more ancient cause, the return of the basilisk, a creature spoken of only in the oldest and most foreboding legends. Alaric's curiosity. Alaric, driven by his insatiable curiosity, was determined to uncover the truth behind these petrifications. He sought out Aemon, who was reluctant at first to share his knowledge, fearing for the young man's safety. But seeing Alaric's resolve, Aemon relented and began to tell him about the basilisk. According to ancient texts, the basilisk was born from a serpent's egg, hatched under a toad. Its gaze was deadly, capable of turning any living creature to stone, and its venom was equally fatal. Aemon recounted tales of past encounters with the basilisk, each more harrowing than the last. Warriors and heroes had faced the creature, often meeting grisly ends. Alaric listened intently, his mind racing with thoughts of how he could confront such a beast. He knew that to save his village, he would need more than just courage. He would need knowledge and strategy. Preparation for the quest. With Aemon's guidance, Alaric began to prepare for his quest. They studied ancient manuscripts that detailed encounters with the basilisk, gleaning any information that could help in its defeat. One crucial piece of advice was the use of a mirror to deflect the basilisk's gaze back upon itself. If the creature saw its reflection, it would be destroyed by its own power. Aemon provided Alaric with a polished mirror shield, crafted by the village's best artisans. They also gathered protective herbs and talismans believed to ward off the basilisk's influence. Alaric spent days honing his skills, forging weapons, and mentally preparing for the daunting task ahead. He knew that the journey would be perilous, but his resolve was unshakable. The journey begins. With his preparations complete, Alaric set out into the forest. The path was treacherous, filled with dense undergrowth and hidden dangers. He encountered wild animals, some of which seemed unnaturally aggressive, possibly under the basilisk's influence. Each step brought him closer to the heart of the forest, where the creature was rumored to dwell. As he ventured deeper, the forest grew darker and more foreboding. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or distant animal calls. Alaric's senses were on high alert, every shadow and movement scrutinized for potential threats. His journey took him to a forgotten part of the forest, an area steeped in legend and fear, where few dared to tread. The lair of the basilisk. Eventually, Alaric found himself standing before a dark, ominous cave. This was the lair of the basilisk, a place that radiated an aura of dread. Gathering his courage, Alaric entered the cave, his heart pounding in his chest. The air inside was cool and damp, and the walls glistened with moisture. As he moved deeper into the cave, the light from the entrance faded, replaced by an unnatural darkness. Suddenly, he heard a faint hissing sound, growing louder with each step. Alaric knew he was close. He tightened his grip on the mirror shield, ready for whatever came next. The cave opened into a larger chamber, and there, amidst the shadows, he saw it, the basilisk. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light, and its scales shimmered like black glass. The creature's presence was overwhelming, exuding an aura of ancient, malevolent power. The battle. The basilisk's eyes locked onto Alaric, and he felt an intense, paralyzing fear wash over him. Remembering Aemon's words, he raised the mirror shield just in time. The basilisk's deadly gaze was reflected back upon itself, causing it to recoil with a hiss of pain. Seizing the moment, Alaric moved quickly, using the shield to protect himself from the creature's gaze while trying to find an opening to strike. The battle was fierce and exhausting. The basilisk lashed out with its tail and struck with its venomous fangs, but Alaric was agile and determined. He used every ounce of his training and skill to evade the creature's attacks and deliver blows with his sword. The cave echoed with the sounds of their struggle, a deadly dance of life and death. Finally, with a well-placed strike, Alaric managed to pierce the basilisk's heart. The creature let out a final, ear-piercing shriek before collapsing to the ground. Alaric stood panting, covered in sweat and grime, but victorious. He had done the impossible. He had slain the basilisk. Returned to the village. Exhausted but triumphant, Alaric made his way back to the village, carrying the basilisk's remains as proof of his victory. The villagers, who had been living in fear, were initially skeptical, but their doubt quickly turned to awe and gratitude. They celebrated Alaric's bravery and hailed him as a hero. The livestock and villagers who had been turned to stone began to return to their normal state, their eyes filled with gratitude and relief. As the village returned to its peaceful routine, Alaric reflected on his journey. He had faced his fears and emerged victorious, not just through strength, but through knowledge and courage. The legend of the basilisk would live on, but now it was a story of hope and bravery. Alaric's name would be remembered for generations, a testament to the power of determination and the enduring spirit of a young blacksmith's apprentice. The story of Alaric and the basilisk is just one of many tales surrounding this mythical creature. In ancient European lore, the basilisk was often depicted as a serpent or a dragon, with varying descriptions depending on the region and the time period. Its deadly gaze was a common element, symbolizing the ultimate power of destruction. The basilisk's origins can be traced back to classical antiquity, with references in the works of ancient Greek and Roman writers. Pliny the Elder, a Roman author and naturalist, described the basilisk in his encyclopedic work, Natural History, where he emphasized the creature's lethal gaze and potent venom. Medieval bestiaries, collections of descriptions of real and mythical animals, further embellished the legend of the basilisk, adding elements of superstition and moral lessons.